All right. Hello, everyone. I think I'm live. I hope I got my internet situation all figured out. Sorry about running a little bit late. How is everyone doing today? Everybody hanging in there? I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I'm feeling confident. I know that, you know, it's hard with having to see him on the news all the time, especially that horrendous Madison Square Garden rally. But how's everyone doing? Everybody hanging in there? Protecting ourselves, self-care, grounding, keeping that faith. All right. So today I'm going to be doing political and current event questions. I will be focusing next Tuesday on the elections. I have all of my predictions from last week written down, which double check those energies to make sure that that's still the case. I don't have any problem looking at election questions today if that's what you guys want, but yeah, I'm open to whatever. So we don't have to focus strictly on the election today. We'll do that again next Tuesday. Just a couple things before we get started. Please do me a favor. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. It really helps get this message out to everybody that needs it. Um, and I believe Mel will be on this Thursday. I haven't talked to him since he's been home from Europe, but I believe that's the plan. So Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. He should be on my channel. I'll let you know if that changes. Um, and I think that's about it for what I have going on. Of course, if you would like a Reiki session, or I do offer a 30-minute reading and Reiki combination package, you can book those on my website. I do have some availability for November. So you can go to www.kevinlovingvibrations.com. That is in the description box of this video, okay? All right. So let me take a look. I've been doing my best. I've watched the news a little bit, but, really protecting my energy. So I will say a little bit earlier, kind of hitting me out of nowhere, I did start to feel a little bit nauseated for about a minute or two, and had a little bit of a low grade, like a low migraine, which usually when it hits me out of nowhere and clears up pretty quickly is me picking up on some earthquake activity. So I hope I'm wrong with that, but I believe that the West Coast has had quite a bit of activity lately. So I just want to put that out there. Um, but that was kind of my feeling with that. All right, you guys. It's good to be here with you all. All right. So let's take a look. I have some questions starred. I love it, Miriam. Because I just voted blue all down ballot and a red stronghold best birthday present. Kamala Harris is going to be our next POTUS. Absolutely. Keep that faith. We have to get out there and vote. We have to motivate our family and friends to vote if they're on the fence. I've been doing my part with that. With my two sisters, my one sister's going to early vote today, and we had a pretty interesting discussion. But she's voting blue down ticket, and I'm still trying to convince my other sister. And I think I've got her about there, but we'll see. And happy early birthday, Miriam. All right. Yeah, let's start off with that. Ness wants to know, can we pull cards one final time for the election next week? Cards for Trump, Vance, cards for Kamala Walz. Let's do it. Now, I have told you, I don't feel like it's going to be a blowout, you guys. We can't be complacent. We do have to vote. I do feel like Kamala will win by a larger margin than what Biden did in 2020. And we're seeing with the early voting, a big lead with women voting, which I feel like is going to definitely benefit Harris. But we can't be complacent. And like I said, I feel good. I feel confident about it. I haven't really found myself worrying a whole lot. I actually feel more confident than what I did in 2020. So throw some cards for the next week for Trump. All right. What's the energy look like for the next week for Donald Trump? Him and JD Vance. Well, for Trump, we have the Emperor. So that is that authoritarian, controlling, dominant, toxic masculine kind of energy coming in and bringing in a fight. Don't be surprised on election night if Trump declares himself the winner before it happens. But he's gonna, bring that chaos that he normally does, and he's gonna be very foolish. All right, let's take a look at Harris Waltz. You guys, I do feel like there's a lot of chaos after the election. I'll be completely honest with you. And I don't think that you have to be psychic to know that. We know Trump. They're going to do whatever they can. They're going to call it cheating. They're going to say it was rigged. They're already suing states. So, I like that card that jumped out from here as well. So we'll keep that. So for Harris Waltz, we had two cards jump out. The Wheel of Fortune, Destiny, Karma, a new cycle beginning. And the Eight of Wands jumped out as well, which is momentum, it's messaging, it's campaigning. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have the Lovers. So that's agreements, commitments, pacts being made. We have an announcement I feel very good about. And the Ace of Wands. So they're bringing that fiery, passionate enthusiasm. And it's also a card of action. So if I'm definitely liking Kamala Harris and Waltz's energy more than Trump. Trump's trying to start a fight. He's going to contest everything because he's desperate to hang into power. He's desperate to stay out of jail. And we all know and I don't see this happening, but we all know that if Trump did somehow manage to win, Trump's not going to be the president. It's going to be JD Vance. So, but no, I feel good. I love those cards for Harris Waltz. So keep the faith, you guys. Yeah, we already see them trying to cheat. We know their games. All right. Yeah, well, I understand why people are nervous. I know there's a lot at stake in this election. But also, too, you have the news constantly going on and on about the polls, which the Republicans are funding these polls. So we know that they're skewing them. And the thing is that's a little bit different this time that I think is why I feel people are more activated and ready to vote is January 6th, fighting for our democracy. And I actually even feel a good chunk of Republicans voting for Harris because of that. A lot of veterans, a lot of older Republicans, and a lot of Republican women. And then the other thing that's different is the Roe v. Wade, taking away a woman's right for their own health care. And women are pissed off. They're going to come out to vote. And that's why I'm saying I'm loving seeing in most of these early voting states that I think most of the women votes are like up 10 points over the male votes. So that's a very good sign. It was the same thing in 2022. you know, I had my channel then. I was telling you I did not see a red wave, which is what the news was predicting. You know, they like to kind of fear monger to get the ratings up there, to stay relevant. And, you know, sure, the Republicans just barely took the House by a couple seats. So I feel like the polls have been wrong. They're not counting for a lot of women voters, and maybe some women voters that aren't every time voters. So do your best to keep the faith, okay? And that's what I'm here for, to help settle you all down. It's all going to be good. You know, I do feel like some things going to the Supreme Court, but the thing is that I don't see it being a 2000 election steal because I don't see it being that close. Like I said, I don't think it's a blowout either. But I mean, you're really focusing on the battleground states, and they're pretty 50-50. You know, even Biden, you know, won a lot of the swing states by just, you know, tens of thousands of votes. So, but he also got over 300 electoral college votes, and I feel like Kamala getting over 300 electoral college votes as well. So, let's take a look at Texas because I was feeling that I feel good for all red. And actually, last week when we voted, well, hopefully you voted, but last week when we read on it, I felt like Kamala maybe being able to squeak out a win in Texas, but you know, we know how Texas rolls, so I didn't feel like the electoral vote's going there. But let's see what the cards say. I'm not particularly picking up any surprises in red states, but I do feel like North Carolina will come blue this time around. But maybe Texas. Let's see what the cards say. I did tell you I don't feel the most confident about Georgia this time around either. You know, Georgia, Florida, Texas. Thank you, Renee, for voting. Long wait, too. I love it. Thank you, Rose Blue. I appreciate the super chat. All right. Is there going to be a presidential vote recount in the state of Texas in 2024, Spirit? Are they going to do a recount? It's going to be close, you guys. And the Five of Wands just fly out. Again, Trump had this same card, so it's a tug-of-war match. It's going to be very close, but the energy's kind of stuck, and there is a lot of fighting with that. Yeah, I do feel recount. They have Seven of Pentacles as the final outcome, which is review and analyzing the votes. We have the Ace of Pentacles coming up, which I see as the votes. They're going to say something's off. The votes are skewed. It shouldn't be this heavy for Democrats. They're going to take a good examination in on it. There's a little bit of negotiation, and there is some burden associated with it too. Let's take a look if she'll get the electoral votes. Let's just throw a couple cards on that. I do feel a recount. We didn't get court like the Justice card, but oh, interesting, Leslie. Leslie says, I asked if Texas would give its electoral votes to Harris in the presidential race and got a yes. Same for Florida. Georgia got a no with the pendulum. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, we're going to take a look at the aftermath of the Madison Square Garden rally. Nuts. All right. Is Kamala Harris going to win the state of Texas and get the 40 electoral votes? I don't feel the same confidence as Leslie. I'm sorry. Lots of women coming out. It's nervous. Queen of Swords, Justice. Oh, we have the Star, so there's hope. But it's going to be a long, hard-fought battle. Nine of Wands is usually being victorious, but being a bit tired. It's going to be very close. Again, Hermit, so they're coming out to review, analyze. I get the vote for Harris. Ace of Pentacles. It's a new job. To me, it feels like physical votes. And it's going to take a lot. It's going to be a while before they release that. Ten of Pentacles. Women making the difference. You have the Queen of Pentacles and the Death card came out together as well. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't feel the most confident, but the cards are looking pretty promising. So we'll see. Yeah, I feel a recount too. Like I said, we'll look at Texas again next Tuesday on Election Day. You know, Kamala went to Texas for a reason. Obviously for Colin Allred because it's a competitive Senate race, but I'm sure she's got some insider information knowing that it's maybe closer than what the outside polls are saying it is. So, and I'll be honest, I feel better about Texas and Florida. I know others have said Florida going blue. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but well, that's the thing, Colleen. The Republicans are going to try to call foul and say that, you know, that there was, you know, cheating there, you know, whatever. We already know this is the game that they're going to play. The thing is, it's different this time is that we have Democrats in control, and also we have Biden overseeing it. And to be honest with you, since presidents have presidential immunity, what's really stopping him from kind of pushing his powers as president? And I think he would absolutely do it for our democracy if we needed him to. I don't think it will get to that, but and the other thing is that the new Congress is sworn in, I think January 2nd or 3rd, and I don't feel Mike Johnson's going to be speaker. So all right. So it's all going to be good. All right, let's take a look. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rose Blue. I appreciate that. Let's take a look of the aftermath after that heinous hate rally. You know, the thing is that Donald Trump can't get full rallies, but he's been going on and on about this Madison Square Garden rally. To me, I only watched bits and pieces of it. I couldn't stomach to watch a whole lot of it. To me, it felt like MAGA RNC 2.0 is how I kind of felt. I'm telling you that most of the people in there were not from New York. They definitely, a lot of them were not from New York City. So, but even afterwards, you know, he's got like a quarter of his venue space filled. Kamala Harris has been constantly getting like 20,000 people showing up for her rallies. I think for her rally tonight, they originally planned for it to be 20,000, and then they upped it to 40,000. So you guys can just feel the energy around Kamala Harris. People are tired of Trump. I mean, I do think for some people, they are voting on the economy. And so they may vote for Trump, but I'm telling you, the momentum's behind Democrats. It has been even the last 2 years. So All right. Is the Hispanic vote swinging towards Kamala after the Madison Square Garden rally? Yeah, and we know Trump's not capable of admitting he was wrong. Thing with that, though, too, is this comedian, if that's what you want to call him, his speech was vetted ahead of time because apparently he wanted to call Kamala the C word, and they made him take it out of his speech. But, calling Puerto Rico garbage was okay. And the MAGAs loved it. He was throwing meat at his base with that kind of hateful rhetoric. Thank you, Giovanna. I appreciate that. I do feel like a lot of Hispanics are really upset because of his remarks, but the thing is I feel like most people have decided who they're voting for or if they're going to vote. Now, I do feel like there may be some that maybe thought that they weren't going to voting now, but I don't see it changing a lot of MAGAs. They've drank the Kool-Aid. They're all in on that. Yeah, we're all upset by his remarks, but honestly, it's not surprising because we know how Donald Trump is. It's the same thing with him going after those Haitian migrants. That's what Donald Trump does. That's what cults do. They play on people's fear to get an emotional reaction out of them. And that's how they're able to kind of brainwash them and control them. Thank you, Pam. All right, let's throw some cards. To the Madison Square Garden rally for Trump. Change anything for Hispanic voters. Some of them want to head in a different direction. The world's watching him. I feel like it's swaying some. I don't want to say, none, but I don't think it's a huge amount either. Because I think for me, it's the people that are undecided and can't make a decision, which I don't think. I think most people have decided. A lot of people think he's a fool. He's arrogant. He's kind of all about him. He likes to divide people. Some want to return to the past too, because they think they had things better before when Trump was president. But I do feel a lot of Hispanics coming out, speaking their truth, some of them heading in a different direction. Some of them are really reflecting on who they're going to vote for. Okay. Hi, Patty Palmer. Good to see you. So I feel like some. I think if anything, it just, in general for the Democrats, it helps to continue to push them out to make sure that they're voting too. Because like I said, Democrats are tired of all the hate and division. Yes, I agree. Democrats have always rescued the economy after repubs, Clinton, Obama, and Biden. I've lived it. That's a lie that Republicans are better at the economy. Yeah. And I don't know why we don't hear Democrats saying that. The thing is a lot of people don't know how economics works. So, Trump got in there and the economy was booming before COVID, but he was also benefiting off of Obama's presidency. Joe Biden got in there, we have COVID, which is a mess in itself, but he's cleaning up Trump's economy. A lot of people don't see it that way, though. They're giving credit to the person that's in charge, even though it takes time for the economy to change, to turn. Yes, Democrats need to message that a little bit better, in my opinion. All right, you guys, what else do we want to look at? Exactly. We can take a look at Iowa. I feel like Iowa may be coming a little bit more towards the middle, but leaning red. And the same with Ohio. But we can take a look. All right. I love everybody coming out saying that they voted blue. We love that. Oh, we know what the Trump Johnson secret is. It's not certifying the election 2.0. And we'll take a look. I see Hakeem Jeffries being speaker. So like I said, the new House will come in, I think, January 3rd. So Mike Johnson won't be able to do anything. But we'll take a look if Mike Johnson's speaker to certify the election results or certify the states after we're done with Iowa. I've heard the media talking about Trump's comment about his surprise with Mike Johnson, and I did hear that Mike Johnson said it wouldn't be a surprise if I told you. So he wasn't obviously answering what that was. All right, Iowa. Is Kamala Harris and Democrats going to win the state of Iowa in 2024? The world coming in. The devil. There's some success there. There's some strength here for Democrats. No, I don't think so. Okay, there is momentum for Democrats for sure. There's the death card, so that's some changes coming in, some rebirth, and coming close to an end of the cycle. But I'll tell you what I don't like. Card influencing the reading is the devil. So things being manipulated, and the moon, so trying to keep things in the dark. There is some gains there. I think strength with women in Iowa. But my final outcome is 10 of Wands. So a lot of burdens that they're holding on to. It's not going to be an easy battle. Justice coming in, so it could be something like a recount. And then Democrats walking away. So I'm not feeling Iowa. But like I said, I feel like it will be closer. I think Trump won Iowa and Ohio by like 8 points in 2020. I think it'll be closer to 2 or 3. And maybe 4. Between 2 and 4 points for Trump. All right. Yeah, I saw Bannon was released today. Go figure. I heard he's going to have some kind of podcast today too. So Portia says, I heard that there's a plan to delay the results of the election past the inauguration days, forcing Biden to take unusual action to remain in power longer than his term. Do you see this? I had felt this energy. I was reading with Susan Lin a couple months ago, but I don't. I feel like the energy's kind of shifted. I don't. I do feel fights, but I do feel Kamala Harris will be inaugurated on. What's inauguration date? January 20th? Well, that's the pendulum. What day is inauguration? Somebody in the chat, please let me know. I think we'll have a good idea that Kamala won election night. They won't call it, but I mean, if North Carolina, and I believe that their polls close early, if that comes in for Harris election night, I mean, I think that that's going to be pretty telling. But for some of the states, it may take a few days. I don't think they'll call it officially for, a day or so. But like I said too, I do feel like there's like a question mark is what I'm saying, because Republicans are going to fight they're going to bring up a lot of lawsuits and try to fight the results. All right. Is Kamala Harris going to be sworn in as president January 20th, 2025? Please show us the truth, Spirit. Will Kamala Harris be sworn in? She be inaugurated as president January 20th, 2025. I'm getting a yes. Yes, I see her being inaugurated on January 20th. There was some energy around this, but like I said, I feel like she wins by such a good margin, that not being the case anymore. I do feel Harris winning Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Yes. We'll double check next Tuesday, but I get a big yes. Wisconsin feels like it's going to be close. But I think it normally is in the elections. It's pretty, but it's pretty divided. But I do feel a win for Harris in both of those states. And in Michigan. Did Kamala have enough time to pull this off? Would Biden have won? I do think she had enough time to pull it off. And I think actually we're going to be talking after this election about having shorter election cycles, because Donald Trump's been running for president for 2 years now. Everybody's exhausted. And it was kind of refreshing that Harris has been in for 3 months. I do think Biden would have won. Yes, I do, Giovanna. And we'll check in on Tester. I checked on him last week. I got a slight yes that he would win. I think it will be very close. Yeah, the money used is ridiculous. I agree, Emmy. There might be a very, very small amount of undecided voters now, but I do feel like most people have made up their mind, or they decided they're not going to vote. Now, those that maybe decide that they're not going to vote may still be persuaded to vote, but I don't feel like it's a huge number. All right. John Tester, are you going to win your Senate race in Montana? I just heard yes. It's going to be very close. 2 of Swords came out again. That's indecision. He's in control now. Women are crossing him. Celebration. 9 of Wands. He's tired. It's been a long, hard-fought battle. I get a yes. It will be very close. Page of Swords coming out, and I do have the 7 of Swords, so there may be some information of people trying to steal that race. People want to return to the past, and he's been there for a while. Ace of Wands, so that's action. It's a yes. He's got strength in it. I think women voters will be the ones that get him over the finish line. Does Montana have an abortion measure on the ballot? That could be why the women are coming out and voting for him too. Amen. We're not going back. Oh, I bet Beth says, I bet there aren't any hotel rooms available in DC for January 20th. Oh, nice. Aries Wanderer says, Kevin, most of the homes in the neighborhood where my Congressional is have Harris Waltz yard signs in their front yard. So I'm hopeful she'll win Ohio. Yeah, I will say, where I'm at in Ohio, there is probably more Trump signs than Harris signs, but I don't think I've ever seen so many Democratic signs up. Um, and for a while, I feel like it was about 50-50. I'll say the last week or two, um, the Trump signs have started to come back, but it's not as many Trump signs as 2020. Somebody wanted me to look at another race. Was it Cruz? I do see Bannon going back to jail, Sylvia. Yes. And I'm telling you, after this election, a lot of these Republicans that planned the insurrection, they're gonna get their letters here soon. All right. Will Lucas Kunce defeat Josh Hawley in Missouri? I think when I read on it last week, I got a small yes. I'll double check my notes. But we'll throw a couple cards for Lucas Kunce. I do believe Missouri has abortion on their ballot too. Wrong notebook. Well, I'll just tell you what I got last week, and we'll go over it again next Tuesday. So, unfortunately, I did feel where the energy was last week. I did feel Rick Scott winning in Florida. Although energy's changed, so Florida needs more of those resources. If you're in Florida, get your friends and family out to vote. I got Angela Alsobrooks winning the Senate race in Maryland, North Dakota Senate. Kevin Cramer wins. I think that was a Republican. I did get Tester winning in Montana. Sherrod Brown wins Ohio. Colin Allred wins Texas. I did get Harris Slight win on Texas. I did get Harris wins North Carolina. Josh Stein wins North Carolina's governor race. I did feel Kentucky staying red for Trump. Arizona, Harris winning. Wisconsin, Harris winning. Michigan, Harris winning. PA, Harris winning. Nevada goes to Harris, so she wins Nevada. Georgia felt like a toss-up. We looked at I felt Blackburn winning in Tennessee. Joyce Craig wins New Hampshire governor race. Very close, but Lucas Kunce wins Missouri Senate race. Casey winning PA Senate race. Osborne Slight win in Nebraska Senate race. Tammy Baldwin wins Wisconsin race. And Slotkin wins Michigan Senate race. So pretty good for Democrats. A couple disappointments there, but we'll double check it. But we'll check. We'll throw some cards on Lucas Kunce if he wins. Ossoff's not up for re-election in Georgia, Clarence. Not this go around anyway. Don't be discouraged. I know that, Democrats can't win every race, as much as we all wish that they would. Energies can change. Don't give up hope. And I'm not saying I'm 100% right all the time, too. I will say in 2022, when I did the midterm elections, I think I was 90% right on my predictions for the Senate races, and I think 85% for governor's races. So I don't claim to always be right. Energies can change. Sometimes you pick up on some things with the energy and it just doesn't all materialize. Sometimes you get a win for somebody, but it's not this election time around. All right? So don't give up hope. All right, Lucas Kunce. Are you going to be the next senator from Missouri? If he wins it, there'll definitely be a recount. People like him. He comes across very charismatic. He's got strength. People are ready to head in a new direction. Women are crossing the Reed. Depends on how many women come out vote Democratic for their rights. He's got momentum above him. Victory, 6 of Wands. Partnership, 2 of Cups. These are actually really good cards for Lucas Coates. I'm going to say yes. It looks like a strong yes. All right. We'll double check next Tuesday. That would really be something if that Senate race goes blue. Maybe these Republicans will learn not to mess with women and minorities and to stop all the hate. I see, I actually feel like the Republican Party, and I've been saying this for a while, but even going into 2025, we're really going to see the Republican Party fracture after this election. I mean, we're already seeing it. How many Republicans have came out and endorsed Harris, and how many Republicans will be voting for her in this election? I actually feel like part of the, the non-MAGA Republicans, I actually feel like there'll be some bipartisanship. I really do. They're going to be ready to get their party back. All right, you guys. Oh, 1,300 people watching. Thank you all so much. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. Well, Dems flipped the Wisconsin State House. Do they have one of the houses now? Do they have the Senate and not have the House? I'm feeling like one of the state houses. I don't feel like both, unfortunately. We can ask the pendulum. Thank you so much, Vicky. I appreciate the super chat. Will Democrats flip both Wisconsin state houses? I see the pendulum saying yes. I'm feeling one at least. The other one might be by like one person. I think that we flipped their Supreme Court with that. Was it 2022? Janet something? I don't remember her last name, but I think we flipped their Wisconsin court got one extra liberal justice. They have neither for right now for Wisconsin. Thank you, Vincent. I feel like they get at least one, but the pendulum said 2, so it'll be close. We did flip Supreme Court with one extra. That's what I thought. All right. Scott Perry, what state is he from? Is he Pennsylvania? I get all of the MAGA Congress people confused. I think he's Pennsylvania, right? Yeah. I was thinking Arizona, but I think I was thinking of Biggs. I feel like he may lose his district. Let's see what the cards say. If he does win, he won't finish out his term because he'll be one of the ones investigated in deep trouble for January 6th. But I'm almost feeling like he loses it. Scott Perry going to lose his congressional seat in 2024. Ooh. First card out is this 5 of Pentacles. That's a job loss. Is he in a really red district? Emotions are overflowing. There's a lot of upset because of the Fool. Fool's also a new beginning. Justice is coming for him. The Moon, walking away. I get a no. I don't think he's going to win his seat. Final outcome is the Moon, and then him walking away. Like I said, if he does get in there, there's a resignation there. But first card out being the Five of Pentacles, I feel like no. He's out in the cold. Oh, Jim Jordan, I feel like is going to get back in, but he's got some trouble for him. The map in Ohio is so gerrymandered. Thank you so much, Juanita. I appreciate that. Yeah, Perry's in some trouble, for sure. Gloria says, the movie Midas Touch premiered last night. Was awesome. Check it out. Yeah, I heard that they had a movie coming out. I didn't watch it, but thank you for reminding me, Gloria. I'll have to check that out. Is it on their YouTube channel, or do you have to go on the website to see it? Oh, interesting. Karen says polling shows Perry is in trouble in PA. Is he in a really red district, or is it a competitive district? Yeah, I feel like he loses. Mark says Jim Bag Jordan needs to go to jail. I've always felt him going to jail. He may not be part of the first indictments that come out, but I feel like he's in the second list. Because once indictments start going out, you're going to see them all trying to make deals and telling everything that they know. They're going to get so much information. It's formerly red, but was redrawn in 2021 to be more competitive. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like he's going to lose. Let's take a look at issue 1. I was so mad when I early voted. I saw right outside the polling place, the Republicans crafted up the legislation super confusing like they always do. So people don't know which way to vote to stop gerrymandering. And the Republicans are making signs saying vote no on issue 1, stop gerrymandering. And that's false. Doesn't surprise me, but they had those signs right outside of the polling place. And that's what makes me so mad too. So many voters are just uninformed, and they'll see a sign like that, who stop gerrymandering, and believe it. I did feel like it would pass. Let's see what the cards have to say. Is issue 1 going to pass in Ohio? It's going to be really close. I feel like I've said that a lot. It's a challenge. It's going to be close, but I got the Magician as the final outcome, which would be a yes. It's going to be it's out of balance. People want to head in a different direction. You do have Justice here, which is coming into balance. 2 of Swords, so it's kind of the indecision. And there is some challenges with it. So you have the Death card, which is change, rebirth, new opportunities coming in, but endings. It's a bit of a waiting game, though. So I think it'll be really close. I'm going to say I'm getting a slight yes on it. All right. Yeah, I know those from Ohio saw the signs. It pissed me off so bad especially when you're going to put it right outside of a polling place. But that's what these Republicans do. I mean, right before the abortion measure, they had a special election last summer. I think it was last summer, yeah. And they wanted to change because they knew that the abortion was going to pass in the state. And so they wanted to change the threshold on how many votes it takes to get a constitution, something added to their constitution and change it from 50% plus one to a 60% majority to get anything passed. Well, that issue failed. And so abortion was passed, and legalizing marijuana in the states. So, Republicans try anything to confuse people, to corrupt the results. So it just irritates me. Let's check an abortion in Florida. Oh, and they have pot on their ballot too. Interesting. I do feel like they're both going to pass. Is the abortion amendment in Florida going to pass in 2024? Let me ask it again. Will the abortion amendment in Florida pass in 2024? Getting a yes. Will the marijuana amendment pass in Florida? I'm getting a bigger yes for the marijuana than the abortion. Crazy as that sounds. I'm feeling that they both will pass. All right. I got a yes, issue 4 passing. Karen. Is abortion in Colorado? I feel like most of the states that have abortion on the ballot, it will pass. It's not very popular, even for some Republicans. Will the abortion amendment in Colorado pass? See, I'm getting a much bigger yes for this. Yeah. I didn't know Colorado had it on their ballot. Senate race in West Virginia. I think it's going to stay. I think it's going to flip red, Patty. I don't even know who the Democrat is running, but I feel like it's staying red. West Virginia is, I think, the most Republican state in the country, if I remember correctly. All right, you guys, we can do another question or two. We'll throw on Colin Allred. I feel very good about Colin Allred's chances. I got a yes last week when I read on it. We'll read it again next week. Suzanne says Colorado has legalized abortions. Are they trying to add it to their constitution, maybe, Suzanne? When I believe I read on Boebert last week, and I got a small yes that she was going to win, Regina, but I don't see her. She is in trouble for January 6th. She is one of the ones caught up in that. It's the same thing for MTG. Had Boebert stayed in her original district, she would have lost, and she knew that. That's why she left. But it's just kind of delaying the inevitable. I see her out. I feel like Osborne in Nebraska is going to win. I do feel the Democrats will take the House, Vivian. And actually, the House is much easier to flip than the Senate is, because it's a really bad Senate map for Democrats. But I feel like Democrats winning. So, and I feel like a lot of things being passed in the first 2 years, and that would only happen if they got both the House and the Senate. So, All right, is Colin Allred going to beat Ted Cruz? He's a magician. He's doing the work. Texas is ready to turn away. He's got the house celebration. Full new beginning, temperance. So it's going to be close. There may be recounts there. Be patient. The world is watching him. Completion. Ace of Wands. He brings that fiery new energy. The bottom of the deck, there's some people afraid about the race. Maybe he's feeling a bit restricted, but he's got the Ace of Pentacles coming in, which is a new job, and a lot of collaboration and group work to get him elected. I feel pretty good about Allred. I've been saying for a while I felt Ted Cruz would be out. All right. I saw clips from the debate between Cruz and Allred. I didn't watch the whole thing, but from what I saw, Allred looked like he was doing pretty good. And he did a very good job speaking at the Harris rally, too. I do see voting rights being codified, Shantae. I don't know if it happens next year. It may be 2026. But before the next election. I don't think it's going to be exactly the same. I get that it's going to be mostly off of the John Lewis voting rights bill, but I do see them adding some things to it too. So there's some minor changes, but I do see that getting passed. I see also Brooks winning in that Maryland race. Thank you so much, Shar. Is everybody feeling better with the predictions coming in? Like I said, I'm feeling really good, really confident. Hopefully it's not overconfidence, but I feel calm and collected. I feel like our girl Harris Scott she has this. I love it. Everybody's feeling calm. Yep. Like I said, if you're starting to feel stressed out, turn off the news, do something to distract yourself and to raise your vibrations. We have to stay grounded right now. We have to, take it easy, self-care. I know we have a lot of empaths out there, so we're picking up all this energy from the news and everything. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself, breathe, and just stay positive. We have to keep this momentum going. So manifest that positive outcome. I don't know about Democrats flipping the Texas State House, Vincent. It feels like we're getting close, to that happening, but I don't think it's this election cycle. And if you're feeling nervous, turn off the mainstream media, watch some good political commentators, or Midas Touch has a lot of great shows on YouTube. It's all about playing into the fear, getting that narrative out there that the race is much closer than what it actually is. Like I said, they said the same thing with the polls in 2022. They were way off. I think they were even saying that Romney was going to beat Obama in 2012. So, and that was a blowout for Obama. Not quite as good as 2008, but he won by a lot. And so the polls don't feel right to me. I said the same thing in 2022. And look at all the early voting. Sure, maybe in some states there's more Republicans outpacing Democrats, but I'm telling you, a lot of those Republicans are women coming out, and they're fighting for their health care and for their rights. I feel a good chunk of Republicans splitting off from Trump. Those Nikki Haley voters, although they weren't really for Nikki Haley, they were anti-Trump voters. Not all of them are going to vote for Harris, but I don't see many of them voting for Trump. It'll be very, very small that vote for Trump. I do think a lot of people will put our country, our democracy over politics and vote for Harris. And there may be some that don't go out and vote, but they're still not voting for Trump. And I think it's interesting too. I was just listening on the news. They were talking about they were talking about Nikki Haley coming out to try to help Trump, although I don't think it would have helped at all. But now they're saying it doesn't look like they're going to have an event together. So I find that pretty interesting. Yep, not all Republicans are MAGA. I agree, Barbara. All right, let's take a look at Kamala's speech tonight. I feel a lot of momentum and energy around here. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll take a look. That's where we'll end it today. Oh, I agree. First off, Haley was never going to win the primary. I told you that. I told you she would not be Trump's VP pick. I told you when she was going to drop out of the race after Super Tuesday. It all happened. Like I said, her supporters weren't even for her. And if anything, what really pissed them off is when she went and endorsed Trump, because they're not Nikki Haley supporters, they're anti-Trump supporters. So yeah, her political career is over because the MAGAs hate her and the rest of the Republicans aren't very fond of her. It's just like that governor, I think it was it New Hampshire, Chris Sununu. He's done too. Yeah, Nikki Haley's political career is over. I understand, Susie. Sometimes we need to step away from the politics. Go watch something funny, something that lifts your spirits up. Make sure you're putting yourself first, taking care of you. All right. How is Kamala Harris's speech tonight going to go at the Eclipse? Her closing argument speech. I think it's going to be huge. I feel all the excitement. It's going to be maybe Trump filled up one venue at Madison Square Gardens. I feel like this is going to be huge. It's going to be twice the size. I do feel her talking about Trump, though. I do see it focusing on the economy, opportunities she's providing. To me, I just heard for young people too, talking about we're not going back. We need change. We need to head into a new direction. Calling Donald Trump out. I think she'll talk about January 6th too. She speaks the truth with clarity. There's some sadness about it, and maybe the emotions of the place from January 6th. It's going to give people a lot to think about. The chariots there, that's that momentum, that push forward, winning the battle, the star, bringing that hope, the joy, bringing abundance. I feel good about the rally tonight. It very well may be the biggest political rally of this election cycle is what I'm feeling. Yeah, Kamala got 30,000 in Houston. She'll get 50,000 today. Yeah, I feel like she's going to get amazing turnout. right, you guys. So we're gonna wrap it up there, or wrap it up here for today. Like I said, I'll contact Mel to see if we're still good for Thursday night. But he should be on my channel this Thursday. I'll let you know if something changes with that. So if I didn't get to your question today, please stop by Thursday night. Um, I'm looking forward to doing another show with Mel. We did one on his channel a couple weeks ago, but we haven't had too many collaborations. He's been traveling, and we had Chicago, so it'd be nice to catch up with him. And come ready on election day next Tuesday. We'll take a look. We're just focusing in on the election races. So if you will double check the energy for the big races, the big Senate races and state races that I have wrote down, see if the energy changes for that. And then I'll take a look at some of your questions on the races. If you want to come in with congressional races, other Senate races, or state races. Even if you want to focus in on some of the state races for the state legislator. Okay. All right, everyone. Sending you all a lot of love, hugs. We got this. Keep the faith. I'll see you all soon. All right, take care.